Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. As the tax season is gradually approaching, and I understand that navigating the complexity of the filing of a taxes can be really headache, and especially if you are driving as an Uber partner in Canada. So in today's video, I'd like to cover some of the essential tax preparation tips you need to do before you file your Uber partner income and expenses. As the tax filing season can be really painful to you, I thought a quick video might help you to remove those headache and keep your hard-earned money in your pocket. Before I get started, as I always say, this video is intended solely for information purpose, and no Uber partner or other third party may rely on this tax or legal advice or use it for any purpose. And the content does not provide any tax advice to any taxpayer and does not take into account any specific taxpayer situation. And Konalom makes no representation and warranties with respect to the accuracy of this information and the contents of this video. So let's get started what we are going to discuss today. So basically we'll be focusing on our topics will be how to report your Uber partner income, expense you can claim, and one of the major expense, which is vehicle expense. I'll be giving more details on the how to claim your vehicle expense, how to keep proper records, and a guide to your HST. So let's dive into it. Okay, why you should listen to this video? After listening to this video, I hope you'll get an idea how to maximize your earning, navigating the tax complexity of the Canada Revenue Agency, and have a confidence, optimize your deduction. Okay, for especially for the vehicle expenses. So many Uber driver, there's confusion what to claim, what not to claim. So in this video you'll get a clear idea of your vehicle expense, and I will give you some tips to keep proper record of your expenses and filing of your GST and HST. Now let's get started. How to report your Uber partner income. Number one, who are you as a Uber partner? As per Canada Revenue Agency, you are a self-employed as per CRA. You are a self-employed as per CRA. That means in addition to your normal income, let's say if you're making money from salary, you also have to show your income and expenses as an Uber partner, and the form that you use is called T2125, a statement of business and professional activities. What kind of expenses you can claim? Obviously, the service fees you are required to pay to Uber. Meals you cannot claim. Remember, the meals that you consume while you drive, you cannot claim. Okay, you cannot claim personal expenses. This is considered personal expenses which you would incur while you are driving. But some exception could apply if you had a fare out of town. If you are going out of town, you know what is your out of town, your boundary to drive Uber. So if you are out of town and you had to eat a restaurant, in that case you can claim that restaurant bill, but remember only 50% is allowable. Okay, the next one, if you buy any water or snacks for your driver, for your rider, not for you, you can claim 50% of that. Okay, 50%. Okay, but if you supply pen, paper to your passenger, that expense you can claim 100%. So meals and entertainment, okay, meals, any kind of food, always remember CRA allows 50%, but any kind of supplies you pay to, that can be claimed 100%. Now what about cell phone? If you have a cell phone, obviously you are using that cell phone for your personal use and business use. So you can deduct the percentage of airtime expenses that reasonably related to earning your business income. So while you are talking to your rider or calling Uber office, if you can keep track of that, so whatever bills are coming at the month end, so calculate the total airtime that you spend with your rider, you can claim that portion. Okay, so that's called monthly billing. So what about the cell phone? So if you buy a cell phone, the cost of the cell phone you cannot deduct, rather you can claim CCA. Okay, it's called capital cost allowance. Okay, and cell phone is under class 8, and you can claim maximum 20% of any particular year. Okay, maximum 20%. So now let's dive into detail of our vehicle expense. So remember, before you claim any of the expenses, you should make sure that you know how to calculate your business portion of the driving. Okay, so how do you do that? It's like you have to take the odometer reading of 1st of January and 31st of December. That will give you the total odometer reading. Okay, and out of that odometer reading, when you receive the tax summary from Uber, that includes on-trip mileage. Okay, let's say you take the odometer rating on 1st of January, which shows 10,000. For simplicity, I am assuming 10,000 kilometer. And 31st of December, the odometer reading showing is, let's say 30,000 kilometers. So total, you drive 20,000 kilometer. Okay. For simplicity, I am rounding off the number. So total, you drive in that particular year is 20,000 kilometer. And on your annual tax summary from the Uber, where it's on-trip mileage, let's say it's showing 10,000 kilometer. So out of 20,000 total kilometer, you drive for Uber 10,000 kilometers. So your business use of vehicle will be 50%. You understand? 10,000 kilometer divided by 20,000 kilometer, it's 50%. This is the number one important calculation you have to do. Okay, what if you don't track your January 1 odometer reading? So as you already know, starting odometer reading should be from the day you start driving the Uber. Okay, and if you got a safety standard certificate to start driving your Uber, then you can find that odometer reading from there. And anytime you change your oil and car oil change, your automobile shop should give you a receipt with your odometer reading. So these are some sort of way you can get the odometer reading. So what are the expenses you can calculate? Remember, you have to calculate the business portion. So now whatever expense you incurred, let's say in my example it was 50%. So now whatever the expenses I'll be discussing, all you can claim 50%. Number one, fuel and oil, car insurance, license and registration, maintenance and repairs, and tire changing, including balancing and installation, routine oil change, car washes, and detailing. So all the expenses, if it is 50% business use, so you can claim only 50%. Okay. So now if you have a car loan, interest cost of the car loan, if you have a car lease, you can claim the car lease payment. Okay. And there is one option called municipal bylaws to obtain additional coverage, fully deductible. Any parking cost incurred while on the business can also be fully deductible. And the cost of vehicle itself cannot be claimed as an expense. Remember, if you buy a vehicle, the cost of vehicle cannot be claimed. Okay. Instead, you can capitalize and you can claim maximum 30% of your vehicle. That is called CCA, capital cost allowance. And passenger vehicle, there is a limit of 30,000 plus HST. Okay. And if you acquire a zero emission vehicle like our electric vehicle on or March 19, 2029, you may be eligible for claiming more CCA. So these are basically related to the vehicle. Okay. Only major concern is that please make sure you have the odometer reading. I know a lot of my clients came back to me and they say that CRA has asked them to submit their expenses, but when they submit their expenses, their odometer, they ask for the odometer reading, but the odometer reading does not justify their business expenses. So please make sure odometer reading, you should keep odometer reading. Okay. Now what expenses you cannot claim or deduct, like any fines or traffic tickets you are getting, violation of law, you cannot deduct. Okay. Any red light camera, any parking violation, even parking violation, you cannot claim. Okay. These are called fines. Okay. And the second one is the personal expense. Okay. Personal expense, for example, you are buying any clothing or any shoes. I see some of my clients submitted those receipt. No, you cannot claim. You cannot claim. Okay. So now give me one, I'd like to share with you one important point about keeping your records. Okay. So it's not only your, let's say you are buying gas in the gas station. So you are keeping the ATM receipt or credit card statement. So this is not sufficient as per CRS eyes. Okay. You have to keep the receipts. Why? Because when you enter into the gas stations, you might have purchased other items like snacks or any food. Okay. That is also included in your ATM transaction slip or your credit card statement, because credit card statement only shows how much you pay to the gas station, but it does not say how much is for gas and how much is for food. Okay, so please always keep the receipt, okay. So that will be my one advice, to keep the records. Now let's talk about the HST. What is HST, GST? As you already know, okay, rideshare partners are included as the definition of taxi business for HST purpose. So you are in taxi business. This means that you as an Uber partner are now subject to same HST and GST rule. Okay. What are the requirements? You have to register, you charge and report. Okay. All fees charges by rideshare are subject to HST. So now you have to remember, if you are a delivery partner, like say Uber Eats, okay, only Uber Eats, you are not a rideshare partner, okay. If you are a delivery partner, you should verify that you can qualify for as a small supplier, or if you are required to register for GST. Remember, if you are driving only for Uber Eats, you need to verify with the CRA or talk to your accountant. He will be able to give you some good idea how to register, because if you are considered a small supplier, you may not have to collect the HST, okay. But if you are both a delivery partner and a rideshare partner, you should also verify the CRA very carefully, okay. So this should be my advice. How do you register? You can register by online or give them a call. The number is 1-800-959-5525, or you can send them an email or fax to your local tax center, okay. So now after you register, it's called choose a preferred reporting period. What does it mean? Reporting period, either you can choose to submit yearly, or you can choose to submit quarterly or monthly, okay. So if you think you are making more money, it's better to submit quarterly. Let's see what are the accounting method. One is called regular method and one is called quick method, okay. You can calculate your HST, submit it to CRA either regular method, or there is a method called quick method, okay. So under regular method, it's very simple, but is very but you have to have lot of documentation has to be kept. So let's say one Uber partner makes $20,000 in a particular year. So tax rate was 13% in Ontario. So total he has collected $2,600, okay. And while looking at his expenses, say he paid $1,000 as an HST. So he will submit net 2,600 minus 1,000, that is 1,600. So if you prefer to go for regular method, you have to keep track all of your expenses, and obviously your income is already in the Uber tax summary report. You don't have to worry about that, but expenses you have to keep all the record. Quick method is nothing but whatever you have made, just multiplied by with the 8.8%. You don't have to keep all your expense records properly, understand? So that is called quick method, and this is an option, okay. You tell CRA that you will be using the quick method. That means whatever money you make from Uber, including the HST, just multiplied by 8.8% in Ontario. Remember, this rate is for Ontario. Various provinces rates are different. So for example, if someone is making $20,000, collected 13% of 20,000, that is 2,600. So 22,600 multiplied by 8.8% is 1988.80. That's how you are going to calculate under quick method. So my advice, go for regular method, because under quick method you will pay a lot. Understand? Because vehicle is the one of the major expenses. So there are too much expenses in vehicle. But the problem of regular method, keep proper record. Without proper record, if CRA audit your file, you have to submit all those expenses properly, okay. So every year keep all your file, all your expenses in good shape, okay. So how to file HST and GST return? Okay, file online using your net file or open a My Business account. When you open your My Business account, you can go there and submit easily, or you can file in person or file by email. Now I would like to highlight one point, that's called income tax installment payment. So how does it work? When you are an employee, income tax is withheld. If you are an employee, your CPP, EI, whatever that is, provincial and federal taxes are withheld, and you get the net amount. But when you are an Uber driver or an independent contractor, you may therefore end up having balance owing when you file your tax return. Okay, you are not submitting any taxes. Okay, you are not submitting any taxes. As a result, CRA may require you to pay quarterly installment for future years. How does it work? Two conditions has to be met. You are required to make installment payments. Number one, why? Your net tax owing for the current taxation year, meaning the difference between your total tax payable and the amounts withheld at source will be more than 3,000. Okay, and your net tax owing for either of the two preceding year was also more than 3,000. So tax owing, if the tax owing in the last year or last two preceding year is more than $3,000, you have to pay income tax installment CRA. So let's say if you owe more than 3,000 on your 23 tax return, and the same thing will happen in 2024, the CRA will want you to start paying installment in September 2024, and they will send you a letter in August explaining the different options available to you. Okay, and obviously at the year end, if you pay more, they will refund, and if you pay less, obviously you have to pay more. Now, a special point for residents of Quebec who are driving Uber in the Quebec region is, just simply speaking, Revenue Quebec will submit the taxes on your behalf when they are collecting. Okay, that's the only exception, and the rates are a little bit different, but nonetheless at the year end you have to file GST and HST returns. Okay, I'm not expert in Quebec, I don't deal with the Quebec residents, but just to give you an idea. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say to you. So far what we have discussed, accurate. Now you know how to do your income reporting properly, vehicle optimization, efficient record keeping. Okay, and remember, the goal is not just to navigate the tax season, do not rush in the tax season, but to thrive financially as an Uber partner. I hope you will apply these insights and take control of your finances and drive toward a more professional future. Okay, and anytime if you need any advice, don't hesitate to contact with me. I'm Rakunan Professional Corporation. I've been serving Canadian since 2010. Okay, anyway, have a good time and take care. Until next time, enjoy driving, make more money. Bye bye.